Hey, I would greatly appreciate if you could support my eBay shop. Simply go to ebay.com in the search bar, type in Latrice Limited, and then click on the shops and then support me. I have a wide variety of items on there. I have many things such as bath bombs, soap, essential oil blends, and sleep and pain, lingerie, robes, teddies, sleep eye masks. I got trading cards. I got men's ties. I got a whole bunch of stuff. Definitely support me. And now let's get into this video. And please like and subscribe. I actually came across this post. I'm gonna read and get my thoughts and opinions as we go. So it says, I finally figured it out, fellas. This is what 90% of women want. Pay attention. Okay, get your books out. Okay, so it says 1, a man who leads but won't tell them what to do. 2, a man who pays all of their bills but still respects their independence because she really doesn't need your money. 3, an alpha will still submit to all their desires. See the contradiction? 4, a 20th century traditional man who will still respect 21st century feminism. 5, a man who will fix all of their voids in their heart from the hurt other men have inflicted, even though you're not a shrink. 6, a man who makes enough money to take care of her but also does household chores like cook, clean, etc. And 7, a man who dares not criticize her, otherwise you're a hater, gay, or you hate your mama. Okay. Some of these, okay, so this is kind of like a lighthearted kind of thing, because I was like, okay, come on. What are we doing? All right, so I'm actually kind of go through each of these and then I'm gonna get my opinions on it. So the first one, it says a man who leads but won't tell her what to do. So I was kind of looking at this, I was like, I didn't get it. It was a joke until around 3, because it's like, okay, a man who leads but won't tell her what to do. Okay, now here's the thing. There's one thing to lead, but it's another thing to be controlling. Okay, there's a difference between, okay, I'm gonna lead you and, pretty much let me lead the way, let me whatever, take charge, but it's another thing of being controlling. Okay, think about it when you have a manager at work. Okay, hey guys, let me teach you how to do this. Teach you how to do this. Okay, let me direct you in the right direction for this. And then, you have one pencil out of line and then they scream at you like, man, why are you doing that? It needs to be like this. And then they just get mad because they want it to be a certain way every single time. Precisely, and that's how I kind of look at what that meant, because there's nothing wrong with, you saying, okay, you could do this, or let's do this together. But when you're saying, why are you wearing sandals instead of sneakers? And it's like, well, it's hot. Why are you wearing a sundress instead of some pants outside? And it's like, well, I want to wear this. So that's what it means. That's kind of what that means. Like when you just think that because we're together, I now have to listen to every single thing. And now I lose a sense of myself, that's how I kind of, took that to mean, where it's like it's your way or the highway. There's no negotiation at all. It's just you, the man, you say everything. And I'm just supposed to be like, okay, on every single thing, everything. That's where I'm like, I could see why this ain't right. Okay, nothing wrong with leading, but when you are controlling and you think that you're the only one who can make decisions about any and everything, well, why am I even here? Because then you feel like I'm just an obsolete individual. I could just be gone and nothing would be different, right? Why would I even be here? Why would I even waste my time? So that's what it is. It's the whole controlling, okay? And you're being too dominant, where it's like, well, what role or what purpose do I really serve? Okay. Now I got 2. A man who pays all the bills but still respects their independence enough because she doesn't really need your money. Okay. Now here's the thing, especially in this day and age. Okay. You have people who, just because you are an Instagram model or, let's say you're doing vlogs or whatever you're doing. Okay. You're making money from advertisers off of Instagram and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So you have a lot of women who they got their YouTube channels, they got their Instagram accounts, and heck, it may even be that they're baking cakes on the Instagram, but they got 1 million followers, or they're designing clothes, or they're modeling clothes, or whatever. Maybe they're making slinkies or whatever, but they got 200,000 followers, and then they're making $10,000 a month. Are you really going to tell her, man, you ain't got to do that, but I really enjoy doing this? You don't have to do it. Don't do it anymore. That's where the whole lead, but you can't tell me what to do. That's where that thing comes from. Like, I'm gonna control you. You can't do that at all. But I'm making $10,000 a month, babe. What's the problem? I don't want you doing that. I don't want you making slinkies on Instagram, even though you're fully clothed and there's nothing wrong with it. And a child could watch this, a 2-year-old could watch this, but I don't want you doing that. So that's where it's like, you know, I mean, you have a fair amount of women who are with that whole old school mentality of pay all my bills, but you also have nowadays where a lot of women are like, I'm making my own money. I don't really need you to pay my bills. You know what I mean? Especially if you ain't got a ring on it. Because you're saying a man who pays all her bills, but you're not saying a man who pays all his wife's bills. You know what I mean? I'm be real. If she's making $10,000 a month, you know, selling slinkies and making slinkies, you know, doing slinky videos on Instagram and on YouTube, you're really thinking that she's just going to drop everything that she has? So no money coming in is better as long as you get what you want from her. You know what I mean? So that's where I was like, I don't know. You know, and I don't want to say any real woman or anything like that, but you have a lot of women who, at least myself, if I'm making $10,000 a month, well, I could pay all your bills, da, da, da. Yeah, but this is something I actually enjoy, because even when you two are together, you have to have your own separate things that you enjoy doing. Okay, whether you love binging TV and playing video games over here, or you like to crochet and, you know, go exercise, and that's just your thing, you know. You both need to be doing some other things and not always locked together. So if this is something that she does, and if it's making money, you're really going to be like, well, I know that you could pay. I know I'm paying all your bills, but I don't want you doing that because you ain't got to make any money for me. And it's like, well, you know what I mean? That's where you can also see issues with that, because especially nowadays, you have a lot of women who are making some serious cash. Okay. And they're not out here showing their booty. They're not out here showing their pone. They're not out here doing all that, okay? But they're making some good money. And are you really gonna say, yeah, I know you're making $100,000 a year, but I need you to stop making $100,000 a year because you need to just take care of me and cook and clean, okay? What? That's stupid, you know? So that's where I'm like, I'm not feeling that. But 3, an alpha who will still submit to all their desires. See the contradiction? Now that I ain't down for, because there's nothing wrong with submitting to certain things, okay? Because if you really love your chick, there are going to be certain things that you will be quote unquote a simp for, okay? So you may be like, man, them dang Lifetime movies, oh, them Hallmark movies, man, that's for chicks, man, I ain't never gonna watch that. But I can guarantee your chick will be like, oh, come on, just watch it. Okay, I mean, which one is this one about? You know what I mean? Come on, tell me that. Because if you're not negotiating at all, then what is she there for? You're not going to negotiate at all? But that's on those small things. You know what I mean? In terms of this, I mean, when you say all of their desires, that's ridiculous, you know. But I mean, yeah, some chicks were like that. But for me, that's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, there should be some kind of negotiation for something. You know what I mean? Me, I love my Hallmark. I love my Lifetime. And yeah, sometimes I do want to go and watch. You ain't even got to watch the full thing. Just watch a little bit of it. Just 10-20 minutes of it. There's nothing wrong. Your testosterone ain't going to go down 5 points. Okay. But yeah, that I will agree with. You have women who they want you to, be a simp for them, essentially, completely. And it's like some things you could have some separation in there, but other things it's like, let's not do that. All right. 4, a 20th century traditional man who still respects a 21st century feminism. Well, 1, I guess I should put in there, I'm not a feminist at all. Okay. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. And I have my reasons for it. For me, I'm not a feminist person. I just am not. I don't like what it has become. And a lot of the times it was not really for Black women. A lot of it was essentially for white women. Okay. Where, we got to have suffrage. Did y'all really care about Black women voting? No, y'all didn't. Well, I mean, I mean, the white men were voting and I want to vote too. And I'm a white woman, but I mean, we'll bring you along, but because you didn't really care if Black women voted or not, because it wasn't for us. It was really for you. And fine, but I already know where I stand with that. A lot of these other little rights that, the women were able to get, those weren't really for me and people that look like me. That was for y'all. But because we both have vaginas, I guess we got to bring them along too, and then everything, like I said, what's going on, you got men in women's bathrooms, and you got all the feminists out here supporting that. I'm not down for that. I'm sorry. I'm not. So that just isn't something for me. But here's the thing, you have these women who, oh, I'm independent, oh, I could do this and I could do that, and doing all that, I'm a boss beat, and doing all this craziness, right? But then you turn around and then you say, oh, well, I want a man who's going to who's going to be a traditional man, who's doing this, who's doing that, and doing this. Meanwhile, I'm out with my girls, and we clubbing, and we do, because I'm independent, y'all, and I'm at these little parties, I'm at these little fests, these little parades, and got my boobs out, oh yeah, and come on, come on, y'all. And nothing I said was a lie, because I've seen it all. I've seen everything that I just mentioned. I'm like, how y'all gonna say that y'all want a traditional man, but then the traditional woman, and hey, especially in this economy, if y'all don't want kids, don't have them, please, okay? But here's the thing, you don't have kids, fine, but I expect everything in the house to be done. Now, yard work is different because women never traditionally were out here. I mean, we weren't really doing yards, okay? That was something that y'all did. And if anything, I'd go hire somebody, okay, with your money, if I'm the one paying all the, if I'm doing everything else. But here's the thing, you have her doing the cooking and cleaning. You're going to be cleaning the bathtubs, cleaning toilets. You're going to be doing all that, and really cooking and cleaning. You ain't doing this stuff all day, okay? Especially if you make a meal that lasts 2-3 days, and then you clean toilet. I mean, unless y'all got some serious bowel movements, I don't know. I don't know how much cleaning you really need to be doing. You know what I mean? Is he expecting everything to be, passing a white glove test? Hardly, So it's just making sure that everything around the house is fine. And, you probably should be doing a little bit more if that's all you're doing. And he has to be at work 40 hours plus a week, but it is what it is. Number 5, a man who afflicts all of their voids in their heart from hurt men who have inflicted upon them. I'm not a shrink. This goes both ways, definitely. Because you have a lot of women who would say, oh, I was hurt in the past. Oh, I was hurt. And yeah, but don't be bringing that stuff over here. That's called baggage. Don't be bringing that stuff over here. Keep that over there. I don't want that. Ooh, it's contagious. I don't want that. Keep that over there. Go figure something out about that. Meaning you get help. Whatever kind of coping mechanism you do, whether it's traditional therapy, whether it's some kind of other kind of forums or something, you get help. Okay. And that works for both sides. Man, my mama didn't hug me enough, man. My mama didn't hug me enough. And now you're going to beat on a woman. But no, you need to get some help too. So that's something that really works both ways. 6, a man who makes enough money to take care of her, but also does household chores like cook and clean. Okay, now here's also another thing. So it says you make enough money to take care of her. Well, are you taking care of her? You could be making $100,000 a year, but if you're like, I'm gonna give you $30 a week and allow, I'm gonna get my own job. Bye bye. Because I'm not gonna be begging somebody for some money. That's one thing I've never done in my life, was beg somebody for money. I've never done that. I've never been like, oh, can I borrow? Can I get some money? And this is not some kind of weird humble brag or anything, but it's just what it is. I've never had to do that. And I'm lucky that I've never had to do that. So I'm not going to be out here, begging you for some money. Oh, I want to just go shopping, or I want to go out to eat lunch with my grandma, or I want to go out to, how much do you need? And then it's like, no, and just because you make enough money doesn't mean you're willing to spend it. Okay. Because what's enough to you? $70,000? That ain't enough. You know what I mean? So I feel like this. If I had a full-time job, however much I'm making, that's what you need to be giving me, period. Every single month, every single week, really. And if you're not willing to do that, then you don't make enough for me, but that's also because, and that's also something that while watching Kevin Samuels, you see a lot of people just are ignorant on. Where you have women who are like, he's like, okay, well, how much money does he need to make? Well, if I want 3 kids, I think $80,000 would be good, and you ain't trying to work at all. Not really. I mean, if I gotta get a job, I will. $80,000 for 4 people, 5 people, including him. So some people's numbers are not right. That's one. Okay. But that's the thing. I also feel like, chores and duties should be shared, because a lot of the times you have men who they cannot afford to not have you work. Essentially, that's what it is. Okay. I get in this part, it says make enough money. But if we're looking at black men, for example, and we're seeing like the numbers like 5% is making, X amount of money. If most people are making less than $40,000, most black men, for example, are making less than $40,000 a year. Okay. Obviously, she needs to get a job. That just is what it is. So then responsibilities are shared. I feel like this is one of those kind of high value men kind of thing, just because not many people are up there at that level. It just is what it is. In terms of finances, not many men are making 100 grand, 200 grand. Black men in particular are making 100 grand, $200,000 every single year to be able to afford both of y'all, and then maybe a kid if y'all got one, so that's one of the things where I'm like, that one is not as realistic to what we see in our daily lives. Okay. It just is what it is. So then both of y'all need to be splitting. Maybe he cooks today, whatever the case may be. Maybe she cleans today. And then 7, a man who dares not criticize her, otherwise you're a hater, gay, or you hate your mama. That part gets me. But yeah, I mean, that's also another thing. Anytime, you have some of these times where a guy would criticize a woman, and then it's just like, oh, well, you just hating, or if I criticize a woman, oh, you hating, you just mad at me. And that, no, I mean, there's certain things that me personally, I'm not a fan of, and I've mentioned it. You don't like it. Oh, well, personally, and this is no shade to anybody, the fake eyebrows, the fake lashes, the fake hair. What else do they got? The foundation of makeup all on your face, all caked up, especially when you look like a different person. The BBLs, the breast implants, the Botox, the lip injection, all this stuff that's not natural for you anyways. And a lot of this makeup actually has forever chemicals, which, look it up, is not good. So that's one of the things. And we get it in other stuff in our daily life as well, especially in like non-stick containers, and you got the waxy kind of stuff on the paper plates and stuff like that. But makeup is also one of those things that has as well. But anyways, there's certain things that I personally don't like. You could do whatever you do, boo. They ain't got anything to do with me. But me personally, I'm not a huge fan of that. But it's like if I say something, you just hate it because you ain't got my weave like mine. I don't care. Okay, that's not something I care about. Oh, you're just hating because you don't like Gucci. I actually don't care about name brands at all. I like my Adidas, and I get some Victoria's Secret from time to time, but that's it. Everything else, I don't really care if it's name brand. Adidas makes some really good shoes, and the tracksuits are really comfortable. So, there's that. But everything else is like, whatever to me. But that's one of the things. Like, you criticize women, black women. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. It's always, well, I don't get why you don't like this, and why I'm gonna beat you up. And it's like, whoa, how did we escalate from I just don't have, you ask me a question, I give you an answer, I don't have that preference, I don't like it, and then now we're going to resort to violence. Now it's like, oh, I'm gonna go and get my homegirls and we're gonna do a run up on you or whatever. And it's like, what? Then the guy says, oh, I don't like, oh, you must be gay if you turn down all this. And it's like, I don't want it, I don't like it. And men, they definitely cannot handle rejection a lot of the time. That's why you see these men getting guns, shooting people. I remember I had to give out fake numbers because I was like, I don't trust y'all to not go and pull out a gun or get out a knife and stab me because I'm looking good, and I don't want to I don't want to talk to you. It just is what it is. People shouldn't be forced to talk to somebody else, so that's one of the things. Men definitely cannot handle rejection at all. A lot of them cannot, and if you say I'm not interested, oh well, that's why you ugly anyway, and that's where you get all that. But on the flip side, a lot of women can't handle it either. Oops, did I say that part out loud? You also have a lot of women who as well cannot handle rejection, because if you say what you think about me? I mean, you got the lollipop hair and you got the fake eyelashes that look like broomstick bottoms. I'm not digging it. And you got the horse hair on your head. I'm not. Oh, well, you gay. Oh, well, you just hating. Oh, you hate women. Oh, well, you did. No, I just don't like that look. That's all. I mean, that just is what it is. I want someone who has natural hair and not all this. Well, them Latinas got that, and then white girl, and this shit blends. It actually looks like it's their hair when done right. A lot of the times it actually looks, and when I say a lot, I mean probably around 96% of the time of anyone else, it actually looks like their hair, because it blends into what they naturally have. If they have naturally straight hair, they're getting straight hair. You have a lot of these women who also straighten their hair, but they're putting in stuff that actually matches and meshes, and it looks good with what they already have. But some of the problems that we have in the Black community with our Black women, they'll get this long weave that comes down all the way to their booty, and I can tell this ain't your hair. You know what I mean? Or you'll get these, you get these crazy braids that come all the way down, and it starts out this thick, and then it gets that thin, halfway through, and it's like, what's going on? You got the long broomsticks on your eyelashes. You cut off all your eyebrows just to draw them back on, and then you say, well, I'm real. I don't get what you don't. What's real about you? You getting the BBLs? Doing all the shaking and bouncing around and all this kind of stuff. And then you say, oh, I'm a real bee. I'm real. And it's like, your eyelashes aren't real. Your lips aren't real. Your booty isn't real. Your neck ain't real. Your chest ain't real. You got the fake eyebrows. You got the fake hair. I mean, ain't nothing real. Because if you were to put the person in a pool, what would happen? But this is no shade. As much as shady as it was. But I thought that was pretty interesting when people were talking about, what a woman wants, and, just all the craziness that goes along with it.